In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and Yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats.
Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome to Hither and Yon Studio, and if you've been here before, welcome back, and thanks for coming back. I'm in the studio today working on the Enchanted Forest journal. I started doing stuff, but then I stopped. I said, let me show you what I'm doing. It was so silly. Okay, so as you know, we made the journal covers. That's in the last video, part 2. Go check that out. This is part 3. And we're going to continue with the journal covers. And I have some great ideas. So I'm going to jump on here and we are going to go through that. So I started pulling out pieces for the front cover that I gathered. And then this stone is going to go in the center here. And then I'm going to work around it. This second stone is going to go on this journal. This is the night journal. So to make sure I have the right way up every time. I have to check every time. And then I am going to put some of these runes that were in the fussy cuts around it. And I'm going to have to glue some together. So I cut these out. I made copies. I resized them in Canva to be the size that I needed. And then cut them out. I cut mine out on my silhouette, but you can measure and see what size you need, or maybe you're doing something else, but if you're trying to do what I do, that's what I did. And that these runes are actually part of the fussy cuts, so they're like in rows of 8, I think, and I doubled them up and then shrunk them down to what I needed. All right, moving on. I'm using nail polish. I said I was going to use nail polish, or I was going to use mica, or a combination of both. The nail polish seemed like the easy win, so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm using these Insta-Dries, and I have a gel here from Sally Hansen. And then I thought I would put this Halo Glow over the black to kind of give it a cool look. And I did wash these before I started, and I put one coat of this Insta-Dry. I'm just going to put another here, and I'm not going to do the back because nobody's going to see the back, and it just makes it easier anyway, right? I don't have to wait for it to dry and then turn it over and such. And nail polish is self-leveling, even these quick dries, so you can kind of just drop it on there for the most part, and then it'll dry. Well, it's kind of a cool effect. So let's see what it'll dry like. Who knows, right? All right, so that's the one. And then this one here, I'm just going to go with a black. Now this one's not an instant dry, so we're going to have to put these off to the side for a bit before I can put that second coat on. And again, nobody's going to see the back, so I'm just doing the one side. These give me an instant kind of finished look without having to get into glue and mica and all of that. You can certainly paint them with regular, acrylic paint, or color them in with a marker, or wrap them in paper, or decoupage them with napkins. There's so many things that you could do to kind of get a look that you're looking for. So figure out what you're going to do and do it. All right, so I'm going to leave that one and this one to dry. But when this one's completely dry, I'm just going to go over it with this. I'll show you the colors I got in case you want the exact same colors. But this one's 107 Halo Hollowback. And this one is the Sally Hansen Gel at $8.49 Onyx Packed. And this one's the Insta-Dry. These are both by Sally Hansen, Insta-Dry. This one is Shine Bright. like a diamond. Okay. That's that. While those are drying, let's work on this. This is real moss and real bark, so we have some, like, I tried to dust them off as best I could with like a brush on the back to get like all the residue off, but you know, it's a living element, so we're still going to have some bits. I am going to kind of attach these to the cover, to the front cover, in a way that makes sense to me. Whoop. Whoop. All right. Swiffer dusters. All right, so I am going to put my book here. I am going to attach everything with this matte gel medium, this acrylic matte medium, because Diane over at the Messy Palette AU told me that this holds most everything, so I'm gonna work with it. So what I was thinking was, you know, like I'd put up some moss and then I'd leave an opening and then I'd put the gem down and then work around it. So I'll have like a couple of steps to this. Let me get a brush. And I'm just going to use, I have these junky brushes. You know, like I buy the really cheap packs. I want to make sure I'm at the front. Okay, we're in the right way. Maybe I should tuck something in here so that it's not so, like, because it wants to go down. And then this first piece I'm going to put like right here and take up a good amount of the space. And it's going to hang over the side here. And I'm going to be a little thick with this because I don't want any of that dirt that's behind it to kind of keep coming loose. And I can fill in any spots with some pieces that I tear off. And I think maybe when this is dry, I'll come back in and seal it just so I don't have a ton of stuff flaking off. But I'll have to find like some kind of matte sealer. I'm just going, I can't turn it so you guys can see any better. Sorry, it'll just be a mess, but I'm just putting some of this on the side. Just hold that for a sec. I love working with living elements that I gathered from like my own property. So I find that very satisfying. Okay, so I have some bits here. Trying to mitigate the mess, but I don't think it's gonna work. Oops. And there's gonna be some bark up here. I found a square-ish piece that I wanted to use. So this one, it might be better if because like not every piece is gonna touch because it's not a flat surface, right? But I want whatever does touch to connect and hold. So let me clip this. All right, and then I need to make sure that I have where my gem is going to go kind of free there, which it could go here. Let me just measure that area. I don't want to cover it too much. Okay, it's about about 7/8 by, I should have done this before, by 1.5. Let me get a pencil. By 1.5. Okay, so that'll be my general safe zone. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I can fill in safely with pieces and bits. This, I think I want like a little moss under it. I'm gonna need a clean brush to just kind of make sure that I'm not countering any of my gluing efforts. Work with me. I can only do so much without the gem. So, but let's see where we can go. And then I'm going to have to fill in after the gem is down. It's messy. Might not be your thing. Certainly is mine. Bit of my a challenge to my creativity. What? Sometimes I can't speak. All right, where did I just put you? Uh-oh. No. No. Uh-oh. Shoot. Oh, I think there's this piece. Yeah, I like it. All right, how is my gem doing? Well, I think it's dry enough to set. Like I can handle it. So, all right. We'll just put it in this little spot that I designated for it-ish. Ah! All right, I can just go over it. It's not as dry as I wanted. It's adding character. Okay, we're good. So, let me good thing about working with moss is it'll fill in a lot of these areas that I'll have gaps for. And I believe the matte medium I'm using is down in the description box below if you want to get one of the one that I'm using, but there's so many brands out there. This is the Sargent, I think. Sargent Art. Cool. Wow, they're drying fast. Okay, I have, ooh, hello. This is just falling apart on me. Kind of want a mix of everything, you know? Ooh, that might go right there. That works. Nope. I have more. So much more. These little pieces are probably going to be good to fill in. Maybe we'll go over here with this one. It's like a puzzle that doesn't have a real way to solve it, except for me. I'm the variable. We're going to test the limits of this matte gel medium. That's for sure. I'm going to let it dry really, really well before I even think of working in it. And seal the whole thing, absolutely. I can fill in with moss there. And I have, ooh, that'd be a great piece for right there because it can wrap around. So I'll save that over here. And then our piece can kind of work into there. Okay, a little bit up here. Looks like it's kind of growing up there. This one I have to hold a bit. Oh, it's trying to stick to my finger. Stay. Okay. Let's see. Nope. Yep. Once all this matte medium dries really well, I'll be able to fill in the final bits where I can see that it kind of needs it, like under here. I'll just stuff some more moss in there. All right, so this can fit over here. And then that other piece will fill in under it, but I want this to dry a little more. Okay, so I think we got the main bit of it done. Once I fill in around here, it will look a lot more put together, but I need some drying time. So we'll put this off to the side. I'm just going to clean everything up, and then I will be back here shortly. Probably in a second. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I cleaned up. This is dry enough to put this other coat on, so I want to do that and get it out of the way. We're going with It's a Moonstone. Moonstone, you say? Yes. Wonder if we put a swirl in it, if it would stay. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? The edge just wants to keep grabbing. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get something to move that around. Because I think it would be cool if I could get a swirl to stay in there. I don't think it's going to work because it's going to keep removing the polish, but let's put a coat over it and see what I get. Probably more control if you painted it, right? I'm going to go with the original plan. Use this. Yeah, maybe not. It's all good. All right, let's put it off. Okay, so now I'm going to do the runes. All right, so what I did was I printed a bunch of these so that I could layer them. I need 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 12 runes. Most of these are the same size. I'm just going to give them some depth by gluing them atop one another. Like these two are the same. But you can see like there's a couple that aren't like long and tall and some are. But that's why I printed a lot of the same ones so that I knew they would fit. Anyway, we're just going to keep going. So I had some doubles of some and not of others, just the way it all worked out, but that's why I did 4 copies. This one. Just be easier to match them if I know they're the same size, you know? Okay, so I'm going to stick with 4 glued together, and these are going to be glued down, so it doesn't matter what's on the other side, which in this case is just white. But after I glue them, I'm probably just going to ink them so they're not like that. But I'm just going to use my regular art glitter glue, and I'm just gluing them atop one another in the same direction, just so that they don't overlap and stuff. And any extras that I had, because I printed a lot, just so I knew I would have enough, I will just use throughout the journal somewhere. Don't know where yet. Okay. 3 and 4. And I'll just show you the thickness, and then I'll do the rest and speed this up so you don't have to sit here through it. But that's about how thick they are. And then when they sit on here, they'll have a little dimension, like actual wooden runes. All right, I'm going to glue up the rest and I'll meet you back here. Okay, guys, so I glued them all together and I'm inking them, and I'm using ground espresso ink, distress ink. Just kind of bring out that edge a little more. And I saw that as I was making these, by stacking the papers a little non-even, it kind of lends itself to like real wood. So just a little tip there if you're doing this, that you might want to give that a try. So I have my 12 runes. This one looks like a little 25 cents under a snowflake. I have some doubles because there were only 8 versions of it, but I'm just cleaning off the ink as best I can and glue. All right. And so, like with the other, I need to know about how much space. Wow, pretty darn close. 1.5 by about 7/8. So let me just get a pencil. This is 4 3/4 across. Okay, I like that one. And then we have to just figure out where, let me get something in between here, where I'm going to put my runes. I have this, just kind of keep it propped up a little. I can need something else too. What do I have? We'll just do that. It should be fine. Okay, so I'm going to put this one upside down because I don't want that 25 to be so obvious. Let me move these over. Just see how I want them arranged. Okay. Like that. And then my gem will go smack in the middle, which I'm afraid to touch it. We'll just let it dry. Let me glue these down. I just had to check that I was on the right side. All right, and then we can erase this because we know where it's going now. I think that's fine. So my gem will go in there. Looks very purpley. I'm going to use this, and actually let's put this back, just to put the gem down because it's going to be a bit heavy. Yep, got something in there. All right. This will dry mostly clear, but I want to maybe, I was thinking I would go around it with a piece of twine or rope or something just to kind of add a little more of something to it. So, but I'm going to wait for this to completely dry before I do that. But that is, let's see how our other one is doing before I sign off here. Okay, so a lot of this is really dry. This one isn't so much. But I can fill in with some more of the moss now. Because the stone is definitely fine. This one is fine, so I can put some, you know what, I'm going to get a little cup. A little cup. This might be a little easier for this step. I have this big piece. I don't know if I need all of this. I think I wanted it mostly because of how it like kind of curves up like that. So I need like a popsicle sticker. Actually, this will work fine. Just need something to kind of poke it in there. Poking at you, poking at you. You guys remember Paula Poundstone with the Pop-Tarts? She's an old comedian, female. She was funny in her time, but I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if she's still doing stand-up. If you know, leave me a comment and let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. So that's cool. And then maybe this one can go like that. I feel like I need a smaller brush. I'm good. I have one here. Duh. Okay. Is that gonna go? Yes. Just gonna have to put some up here. How fun. This is really fun, guys. It's fun for me. I don't know if it's fun for you. I hope so. I hope you guys will try working with some natural materials. They're very fun. Okay. This piece is kind of a little wonky. I think I'm going to then I have some space here and here. Come on. And then over here, there's just a little bit. And then there's this spot here. Moss is very forgiving. Okay. There's some up here, but I'm going to leave that because I like the way that looks, actually. I think everything else is good. So now it's going to have to dry overnight. I don't want to mess with it until I know it is very, very dry, because I'm going to be maneuvering it a lot, right? And I want to seal it. I just see one more spot. I'm just going to fill that in. So I'll check for any vulnerabilities. before I do any kind of, sealing and stuff. This piece seems like it's going to be problematic. I have to keep an eye on that one. Okay, so that's our video for today. As you can see, we made some progress, but we didn't do a ton of it. I might fill in around here, or just maybe pressing it down will be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. So we have our little gem. I'm super excited. Our Enchanted Forest journal is coming along. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this little segment of our craft along for June, leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below and let me know if you liked this or what you're doing in your specific journal. Share it with all of us so we can maybe try your idea as well. And as always, if you want to share your makes, you can share them over on the Facebook group. Those details are in the description box below, or you can search Facebook for Hither and Yon Create Space, and that's our group over there. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye! Ooh, I might add in some sparkles. Okay.